Hello and welcome back to the GDQ Hot Fix. This is Challenger approaching. My name is Adef. I'll be your host as always. Joining us tonight is Def Futon, showing off a Hat in Time Hatless Badgeless. But before we get into it, just a few quick announcements. First of all, SGDQ 2021 Online is officially July 4th to the 11th. Get excited. Game submissions are open right now until April 11th. Be sure to prep your submissions if you'd like to be a part of SGDQ 2021 from the comfort of your own home. If you're interested in volunteering for SGDQ 2021 Online, volunteer submissions are now open. Check gamesdonequick.com for more info on the dates. If you're watching on YouTube and would like to support our live content, please consider checking out our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/GDQ. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe to any Twitch channel of your choice every month for free. Please consider using your Prime Gaming account to subscribe to the GDQ Twitch channel. So, Futon, welcome.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Amazing. Futon, what is the game that you're showing us tonight, and what is the category?
So I'm going to be playing a Hat in Time Hatless Badgeless, which will be on the first version of the game released, 1.0. And it's mostly because it's the first one I learned, but also because it's a lot of a simpler run for what it could be. There's a lot more difficult tricks on 2.1 that are not really in favor of what I like to see in a run. So there's a lot of co-op stuff in a single player speedrun, which is weird to me. So I've really enjoyed 1.0 more for that reason. So that's why I've been practicing that, and that's what I'm showcasing here.
Amazing. So, Futon, I know you love A Hat in Time. It's an adorable game, a crowd-funded, crowd favorite that has turned into sort of like a modding phenomenon, a big community effort type game. So I'm curious what sort of, for you, what does this game mean to you? What excites you about the game in general? That sort of thing.
It's got a lot to it. There's a lot of different parts of it that are really nice. When I first saw it, I had just seen a friend Patty playing it, and I was just like, oh, that looks kind of neat. I think that would be something I'd enjoy playing. And he didn't seem as big on it. He didn't really give it the full playthrough because it wasn't exactly his style. And then I picked it up, and throughout what I generally was like maybe not the happiest time for me, the game had so much charm, and it lit me up. I was really happy, and I really just haven't been as down ever since. The game has just been, if I ever feel like I need something, I can just go back to play it, and then from there I just started speedrunning it because it's got such clean movement that I've just really enjoyed playing it as fast as I can.
Amazing. Well, I'm happy to hear that we've got a runner so passionate about their game on this week. So I think without further ado, why don't we get into it and, give your intro of what this challenge is, what this speedrun is, and we'll get it going. Sound good?
Sure. I'll start you off with the delete save file sound because it's wonderful.
Okay, amazing.
It's pretty good. And then yeah, we'll get into it. So
wonderful.
Guess I'll give you a countdown here.
Sure, yeah. I think we are probably ready whenever you are.
Alrighty. So I'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So Hatless Badgeless.
Good luck, have fun.
I will do my best. Hatless Badgeless is very akin to a lot of low percents for different games. It's just not called that in Hat in Time because the percentages are tied entirely to the amount of time pieces you get, which you can't get less than 25 to beat the game. So it's already low percent on an any percent level. So Hatless Badgeless is essentially low percent in that you're not getting anything that enhances Hat Kid's abilities. You are the starting Hat Kid. I'm here with my little basic hat that tells me where to go, and I will not be upgrading it ever. It's not like collect nothing like a low percent typically would be. I just opened a chest there to collect a relic because I 100% require some relics to beat the game. There's no avoiding it. And that's because in 1.0, there's only 26 timepieces you can get to beat the game with in Hatless Badgeless, and 3 of them are from relic-related levels, so I can't really skip them. There's nothing I can do about that. But otherwise, it's a low percent in that we're just not touching anything that we don't need. So it's pretty neat for that.
So this game, a lot of people that are watching, if you're not familiar with the game, you might immediately recognize a lot of its influences. Super Mario Sunshine is kind of like the big movement influence, it seems like. What are some other games that have sort of influenced the charm and the delightful thing we see before us?
Yeah, it seems like it's almost meant to be on the GameCube itself. The game just is geared towards just being a GameCube game. I'm trying to remember now. I was watching a friend play this the other day, and they were referencing a lot of games that it's similar to. I think T2ID is what they were talking about. It has a lot of sound cues that are, well, it sounds almost ripped from the game at some points. It's just like, oop, I just missed that ledge there. It's not a good start. But yeah, it just sounds really GameCube-esque. It plays similarly. The camera moves in a typical 3D game. It's just pretty good for that. So this is the first trick I'm going to do right there. If you damage boost into a ticket on the early versions of the game, they duplicate for reasons. It's a bit weird. We're going to be using that again later. I had to open that safe because I need the money. This run is extremely money dependent because we have to buy certain levels to unlock them, and then also the relic stands that we want to pay for are extremely expensive because we have to do typically 2, but there is one trick for the one. So I mentioned 26 timepieces earlier. One of them is, I would call, not marathon safe, so we're not doing that one, which means we have to pay for another relic stand, which is another 150 pawns, which are these little green balls over here that I'm collecting, and so we need a ridiculous amount of money. So I'm going to be going out of my way to collect as much as I can.
So yeah, these timepieces are very, you know, they're like the equivalent of the Shine Sprite or the Jiggies of this game.
Yeah.
And is sort of the progression-based main task.
Exactly. So we're going pretty much collecting everything that we have access to, since we don't really get the option to skip any. But when you're playing a regular any percent of this game, you actually get to pick the fastest ones and really get to just gun through the game at really quick speeds. I think, I don't fully remember the world record time for any percent on its own, but it's like, I think it's like a barely under 40 minutes, which is kind of crazy for 25 whole levels, or 26, I guess, if you include the boss fight. So it's a fast game.
So I know you mentioned Hatless obviously being, there are a lot of different hats that sort of change the way Hat Kid plays. So, you know, there's like a speed hat and various other hats that add or subtract mechanics. And you're skipping those in this challenge. But the other question is, apologies if you already explained it, but badgeless.
Yeah, so the badges are mostly not really anything to be excited about. They don't really do too much, but there is one badge that you kind of wonder why they put it as a badge, because it's just so important to the game. You need it to enter an entire chapter, and there's only 4 chapters. So that's like, I believe 8 timepieces are entirely locked behind that one choice to put it as a badge locked behind that. So the hookshot badge is very important for that. And then there's a few other stages that are entirely locked behind it as well. So it's honestly a bit more important that you lock the hookshot from progression to make it a challenge run than the hats themselves, because it actually locks more, which is a bit strange. But yeah, so the hats we would normally get in the speed run on 1.0 would be the sprint hat, which, as you can imagine, you run fast. Pretty nice, very speed run related. And then there's one that'll be the brewer hat, which is mostly to help out with boss fights, and then at one point you'll break some boxes to get through them to get to a time rift. Ooh, that hit me. Not sure why that hit me. It shouldn't hit me. I'll be fine though. But yeah, so those are the 2 hats you'd normally get in the speedrun for 1.0. And then in later speedruns, you would also get the Dweller Mask, because they patched out the skip that I'll do at the final level to get through all the Dweller Mask related things. You wouldn't technically always need it, but it is extremely difficult to do it without, so I wouldn't recommend it. And then, as I mentioned, the hookshot is important for a lot of levels. Not too important for the speedrun, but one level and then a segment of another is pretty related to the hookshot that I'll be having to do differently because of that. So we're just going through Mafia Town right now. We do almost all of Mafia Town. There's, I believe, no, we do all of it, 100%. So we're clearing Mafia Town in this. So there's definitely, did not menu out fast. There's definitely a lot of Mafia Town in this, and then we're going to be like picking at some of the pieces of other ones just to get to the 25.
So, Futon, I'm curious if you have, and you don't have to tell us right now what it is, but I'm curious if you have a favorite segment.
Oh, I absolutely do. So there's two different ones to me. So there's a favorite level that I've just enjoyed the most, and then there's a favorite level for speedrunning because it's just a wild time. I would say the speedrunning one is Deadbird Studios' Murder on AliExpress is really good because there's just a lot of cool movement in it, and you just skip through the level at lightning speed, and you completely defeat the point of the entire mission, and it's a lot of fun to do. The level I enjoyed the most just playing. There's a good one which I can't do in this one, which is a train wreck level right after it because it has the best music of the entire game. But I'd probably say Subcon Well is just really enjoyable as well, and it also has a really cool speed tech that is going to be a good time to go through. I'll be there in a little bit of time. We're not entirely there just yet. But it's those are some really good levels. Overall chapter that I like the most would probably also be Deadbird. It's just a really well-rounded segment of the game. It's actually a bit interesting because all the other segments, Subcon, Mafia Town, and Alpine, which you won't be seeing unfortunately, they're all kind of open worldy in that you can go where you want. There's no like you have to do this. And then Deadbird is exactly that. You just follow what they tell you to do because you can't do anything else. You're very restricted. But the level design that they put together in their forced levels is just so good that I don't mind that I'm being forced into doing anything. They did such a good job of making it fun that I don't mind that they're directing me where to go. What I just did there, by the way,
really
is
sick.
yeah. So I jumped over a cutscene and another cutscene inside of the cutscene. So you jump over the first part, which is you pan in towards the boss on a chair, and then the second part that I skipped was you get locked in a cage and you have to fight two mafia members. But instead we just jump up the wall and then go over the hitboxes of it to get into the fight cutscene.
This is the big TTYD fight.
Yeah, this fight is, I wouldn't say scripted because there's different RNGs on what orders things are done, and you can't really. It's kind of like it's almost a side or not an auto scroller in the way that the fight works because you just have to wait for every animation. There's no speeding things up. In 1.0, you can skip the last section of the fight with the brewer's hat, but Hatless, I have to do the whole thing. But that's okay. We're already halfway through the fight, so it's not so bad. We're just gonna be keeping them over here on the left. This fight will start the last phase, and then we want him on the left because it's a little easier for us to hit him on the right side here. So he's gonna jump over, and I'm gonna get onto the top of his attack. Oh, I'm stuck. Okay, to hit him right away. That's why I wanted him on the left side.
That's like
and we just have to hit him.
A Lord Crump attack from TTYD.
Yeah, it's very TTYD mixed with Sunshine.
I mean, two wonderful games.
Yes, yeah, they're both really good. A lot of people are. Ooh, I was not expecting that attack. I was expecting another big ball for me to climb. I can just sit behind him, thankfully. So, and that's the final blow. He didn't give me the hardest pattern, so I was a bit lucky on that one. But yeah, that was a pretty chill fight. A lot of the boss fights in this game, they look intense, but the game is a bit kind in that it just throws hearts at you as you go through phases. Because otherwise they don't have any way for you to get your health back. You don't increase your health bar, you're always at 4. So the low percent in this doesn't actually risk your life as much, but it does make it, you have to do some tougher tricks. So it's not challenging that you're always on the brink of death, it's more challenging in that you have to do some cool movement tech / tricks to beat the game. So the boss fights are not as threatening as the actual speed tech that you'll have to do. And I guess we'll showcase some speed tech right here, because I want to go to a rift, which is pretty low in Mafia Town. But there's this nice slope here, and when you slide on a slope, you just fly.
Oh,
And I
that's
can just
cool.
go straight to the end here. It's very nice. They have a lot of nice movement tech. So you can walk off an edge. It's kind of like the Celeste Twitter thread that a lot of people have seen, which is like they did a lot of care in that you can walk off an edge for a second before you jump, and it'll still register your jump because they wanted you to have a good feel with the movement. And this kind of has that exact same design to it. I can walk off an edge, and then a couple seconds later, well, maybe not a couple seconds, that's a bit oh, I've just thrown myself off the world. Whoopsie daisy. See, I got a dive boost there, which is if I boost right before hitting, wow, this was just bad movement. That's cool. We're good. But yeah, a dive boost, which I had done there. I'm just, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I'm
You're
just
doing great, Futon. You're
a
doing
little
great.
bit all over the place right now. I've lost my sync on this level, but that's okay. We're trying to save time, and it's cost me a ton.
Something that I really enjoy about the art in this particular section that you're playing right now is something I really enjoy about some of the subworlds in Odyssey, which is this like really clean cube style where like everything reflects really cleanly and it's got this really nice gloss to it and it feels really otherworldly. And some of the sub areas in Odyssey have that, and I think they look absolutely wonderful, and this game I think pulls it off really nicely as well. This
game does a great job of having a blurred background in addition to some little textures in the air. So there's like little bubbles in those, and they actually help my depth perception a lot. I was playing a game very similar to this called Blue Fire, and I found in those side segments that they do that are very similar, I actually had a lot of trouble seeing where I was because there's no blurred background, there's no grainy texture to tell where you are depth-wise. I feel the polish on this game really stands out for that stuff like that. But yeah, as I was mentioning, dive boosting, if you hit A as you land on a dive, you actually fling yourself forward, which I did not do on both those dives, but that's okay. But it flings you forward, so it's a bit of a speed tech there. So there's a lot of neat little pieces of movement that we can do. Big fan of them. So here's the ticket level I was talking about earlier that I need to get more tickets from. I'm going to be collecting 4, but one of them is in a pane of a location, so we're going to collect 3, and one of them is going to be a duplicate, which is perfectly acceptable.
And that's from damage boosting before picking it up?
Yeah, so I'm going to be... I scared myself there, so I pulled back, but we're going to take damage on this torch here, and then just jump right into that, and that's 4 of them. I don't know what I just did. I think I hit my R button, which I've never pressed before while playing this game. Oh, don't want to go that way. I'm confusing myself now. So yeah, you can notice that I'm going out of my way for as much money as possible. I'm at 160, and I need 600 and... Oh, I might even need 700 for this run. Yeah, there's a lot. I need a lot. This costs a fortune to... Oh, I need even more than that. I think it's 800. So yeah, I'm broke.
The number just keeps going.
I'm broke is really what I'm saying. I'll spend a good 100 right here, so all this money that I've just earned is going down the drain. Just so that I can heat up Mafia Town here. Which, this level's actually kind of cool too. So far you've probably seen, if you know the speedrun at all, an entirely normal amount of tech in that this looks exactly like an any percent run so far. And that's because while you get these hats pretty early, the game doesn't want you to need them until later. So we're not really doing anything mind-blowing at the moment, but it does ramp up later on. Oh, grabbed onto the umbrella. I don't even know how that's possible. We're gonna take a lot of damage on this level, and it is intentional. So we are going to Death Warp.
Wow, it's the Mario Sunshine lava. Or Mario Odyssey, actually.
Yeah, so we're turning faucets off so that we can save these Mafia members. I don't know why we're on their side all of a sudden, but we're helping them out. Can't let everyone burn. So we're gonna intentionally take damage so that we can set this one off. And then during the death, it'll checkpoint and put us back at the top with all of those completed. And now we can just turn around and go the exact opposite direction. And we'll do the same thing, which is why I'm going to skip this faucet right in front of us, because I want that one to be my last one, because it's really easy to get back to where we need to go from there. And I'm just going to
really quick, here. I do want to say, gamers, if you are not following twitch.tv/deathfuton, he's a wonderful speedrunner, plays a lot of this, and a link to the past randomizers, and many various other things. Really chill dude, great commentary, great time. I'm putting the link in the chat. You just head on over there, all right? And drop this man a follow. Super under-repped speedrunner, and I believe that should change.
Thank you. I'm definitely planning on doing this a lot more, especially with the new 2.1 stuff that I'll be showcasing later. It's been a treat to get back into a speedrun that I enjoy. Link to the Past speedrunning had been bullying me a little bit lately, so I've stayed away from that, and I found a game that I enjoy speedrunning a bit more.
Hey, that's what it's all about. Speedrunning is all about ebbs and flows.
Yeah, gotta be in sync with the game and make sure it's treating you well. If you're not having a good time speedrunning it, you should put it down for a bit, take a break.
That is big advice. If you, real talk, Futon just laid down some serious knowledge, and I feel like he dropped it like it was nothing. But if you are someone that is interested in speedrunning, or maybe it's not even speedrunning, maybe it's fighting games or challenge runs or something adjacent. If you're playing a game competitively and every time you get up from it, you're like, man, I feel worse than when I sat down. Maybe stop and play something else.
Play Hat in Time. It's relatively cheap for how much I've played it. Goes on sale often. I can assume you can get it for 50% off in the summer at some point.
I do sometimes I think about games I buy in reference to how much did it cost and how many hours did I spend on it.
Yeah.
And like Dark Souls, for example, I bought for like $5 or $10 and got 30 hours out of that. Like, how many times do you buy a sandwich for $10? Do you get 30 hours out of that? This is just logic. I don't know.
Yeah. I used to have like a balance in my mind because I used to play Warcraft, which is a bit costly of a game. It's a monthly subscription kind of thing, and I was trying to put into my mind how worth it is to pay for a subscription game if I'm playing it a lot, and I was giving myself a number in my head, and I was essentially saying, if I'm getting an hour $1, the game is worth it to me.
I think
so that was the measure I've gone with, and it's with inflation it's maybe not that anymore, but it's done its job for making sure I'm happy with my purchases. I'm missing pawns left and right here, which is hopefully not going to cost me later, but that's okay.
I will say that I should amend a prior statement. I made an analogy that perhaps a sandwich was less worth it than video games. I would like to make it known two things. First of all, food is literally my favorite thing in the whole world. And
absolutely.
Two, you should prioritize eating and drinking water over playing games. That's all I have to say.
Stay hydrated, but also feed yourself.
Hey, stay hydrated. I'm going to take a drink of water right now.
Man, I wish I could. I gotta guide this hat kid up this hill. What in the world just happened to me?
Hand me the controller.
I'll do it.
Oh, that was fun.
Oh, I timed that wrong. Okay, I got really thrown off. It's okay. They checkpoint me about where I died. So, or took damage. I guess I didn't die just yet. Hopefully not at all on this level.
So the void outs take health rather than a life?
Yeah, they are. They're very... This game is like... If you're looking for a game that doesn't, like, make itself happy by punishing you, this is the game. It's very kind. They give you hearts when you need them. They make you get a lot of checkpoints that don't bully you. It's very generous. I'm quite happy with it.
Yes, someone in chat brings up a good point about quality of hours. I was inferring that those were enjoyable hours. You'll hear that just before I made that statement, I made the statement about not playing something if it's not fun, and that extends to casual experiences as well. If you are enjoying it and it takes hours, that can be great. It's like reading a good book. You're gonna put it down if you don't like it.
So I did something real quick here, which is just put a burger together, and that's gonna spawn a purple rift. The thing you didn't notice is that my menu to put the burger together is RNG, because for some reason the order in which relics get put into your bags is just random. So every time you do the speed run, you have to like quickly look at how they've presented themselves to you and build the burger in the correct order. which is quite entertaining.
I'd like to note that Futon said, and I quote, "My menu for the order in which I put my burger together." End
Yes.
quote. I may be paraphrasing a little bit, but that's just a delightful sentence.
You make a burger in the Hat in Time speedrun. So we've completed a chunk of Mafia Town. We are going to go back, but right now we've moved our way to the second stage, which is Subcon, and we're now just going to live in this bag, and there's nothing going on.
Okay.
And the reason that is the 1.0 run that typically skips this bag goes across the top of the trees with a sprint hat. I didn't know how to do that at the time because it was insane, and now that I don't have a hat, I really can't do it. So we're living in a bag. It's one of the hardest tricks I've ever seen in this game. It's like you have to like sprint, jump from one piece of a tree, perfectly land, up like on the frame you land, jump again to keep your momentum, and get over a gigantic hitbox on the cutscene. It's just, I don't know how the good players do it. It's just wild.
There's a question in chat. Does badgeless mean you can't use the hook shot?
You cannot, and I'll be right there next level to where you get the hook shot, and I will be beating that level without it, and you'll get to see how that goes together. That's my favorite new tech that I've learned. So I used to know about a way to do it. I'll go into more detail at the time, but it was a very difficult trick for me. And then really recently, a runner named Albie had picked up this category and got themselves the second best time using 2.1, which was like a 57. For comparison, my 1.0 run, which is kind of a different run because it's 1.0, is a 119. So it's a lot faster on 2.1. Oh, I've done this in the wrong order. That's okay. But yeah, the 2.1 is a lot faster, but it uses co-op, which I'm not a fan of. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, not the way I'm running it. But yeah, I was watching them do it, and they just swing their umbrella and go up. Oh my God, I launched that. They just go up an incline with no effort in a very simple manner that has taught me how to do that one. And now I absolutely love the stage. So I'll make sure to really point it out for everyone else so they can appreciate the cool tech as well. Just getting yelled at over here and signing contracts. You know, kid stuff.
Kid stuff.
Yeah.
Just kid things.
Oh, forgetting to mash. Oh, I missed. One of these days I'll spawn directly on this timepiece and it'll be awesome. If a timepiece spawns on you and a menu pops up like that, sometimes it just like freezes the game until the load to cut you out happens. So it's a time save, but it looks really janky, which is funny. I enjoy it. All right, we're going to the hookshot place now. Here we go. After a lot of animations. We'll get there. Okay. So as you can see, there's this nice hookshot on the splash screen. All of these screens are very cute, by the way. Really helps the charm.
So this is definitely the big breakaway point for this category as opposed to any percent, you would say?
Yeah, this is where everything changes. Well, maybe not everything, because there are some similarities in later stages as well. But you'll never see an any percent do it this way, I don't think. I feel like they'd all use the hook shot, so they're definitely not going to do this. It's I think it's really cool tech. I'll have to explain it a bit as I get there. Nice, I got the frame perfect. Boost to save me like maybe a frame. Hooray.
Hey, we love that.
Yeah, essentially I hit the dive boost before the purple ground slowed my movement speed, so I got the full boost out of it, which is nice. So in front of me is where you'd go to collect the hook shot. I'm not a fan of that, so I'm gonna go get this relic up here and then turn around after I get all this money that I really want. So as I've said, I need a fortune and I'm broke. So we're gonna go over to the hookshot side, or the side that you go after the hookshot, and we're just gonna come up here and we're gonna swing our umbrella and it's gonna slightly incline us, which is enough to, oh, didn't get it. Try number 2. There we go. It's enough to put us up here. And that's important because there's an invisible wall right here. I'm just gonna walk against it to show you. I can't go anywhere. So it's like mildly obnoxious, really stops you from doing a lot of different tricks, but with that new trick that I had seen on a speedrun, I can now climb up here extremely easily. Randomly stand on that same wall that I just showed you was blocking me. So I'm just on air for no reason. And we're out of the well already without our hook shot. That normally you would absolutely require to beat the level.
That whole movement section was so sick, Futon.
It's a really fun game for that stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff. That's why I really like this game. It has it not only has the dive boost for speed tech, but it's got a double jump and really good controlling. So it's like there's a lot you can abuse with that. It's a lot of fun. If you're looking for a good speed game that's 3D, this is the one.
Well, gosh darn.
Sign yourself up.
I guess I'm gonna have to sign myself up. The Hat in Time speedrun draft. I've been conscripted.
2.1's a good time too. That's kind of what everyone runs now because the DLC has a lot of really quick rifts in it, or not rifts, but timepieces. We're gonna do some like 3-minute to 8-minute levels at some point coming up, and it's really slow. But with the 2.1 stuff, you can just, you know, sizzle through this game. As a comparison, by the co-op 2.1 Hatless Badgeless being 55 minutes for world record, and my 1.0, which is I'm the only person who runs it, is it's a 119. So although my 119 isn't that good,
That just means free world record, baby.
it is. Sadly, it's on the same leaderboard. But when the leaderboard is in category extensions, does that really matter?
Well, you know, there's this fun trick. I don't know if you know about this. This is hot tech. Maybe a lot of people don't know about this. But you can actually filter the runs on the leaderboard to make it look like your run is first place. And that's the magic. That's how you make yourself feel good.
That is a good time. So this is going to be a lot more fancy movement tech here. You're supposed to break these ice walls with these cherries, but with good placement on your starting spots, you can jump up quite easily. I'm just going to land on like the bells to get up to different platforms from time to time. All those green things you saw me just ignore. Those are platforms that only exist when you have a dweller mask or hit those bells to create an effect that spawns them. But you can beat literally the entire game ignoring all dweller hat related things. You can even beat the dweller levels with them without it. It's wild what you can do in this game. The speed tech is crazy. The community is so good at finding some really cool stuff like that. It's I'm blessed to have come into the Discord. Essentially, I came to this run by one day on stream deciding I really like this game, so I'm going to play it again, but I don't want to do just another casual playthrough. So I'm just going to put myself through a challenge. What if I beat the game without the dweller mask specifically? And I beat it because, you know, there's plenty to not need. And I was like, okay, well, how much timepieces can I get? Oh no, let's get on the door. Hold on. Before I continue talking, I don't want to, there we go. I just jump over a cutscene there. No big deal.
No big deal.
Get the relic up there. But yeah, so I was trying to beat the game as a challenge to myself with like a restriction on what I could do. And then after I had completed that, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I did a great job of what I was aiming for. I'm quite happy with myself. And then I opened up the Discord for the speedrunning community because they have one and it's great. And I just start searching things through it, and I find like a million cooler strats that you can do to skip even more levels than I had played, which is kind of how this run for me came together. I wanted to build this and it wasn't possible at the time. Back before the DLC came out, people had really wanted to do Hatless Badgeless, but it wasn't possible. There was only 24 timepieces you could get, and you need 25 to beat the game. So it was really sad. And if you're wondering how I'm playing it on the release version and beating it when they couldn't, it's that when DLC came out, they started finding that you could lag clip through some corners. So you just lag the game, and Hat Kid can clip through a 90-degree angle if she's able to grab onto the corner of it. And using that tech, I realized, well, if I can lag the game in 1.0, I can get the same result. And with that, we opened up 2 more timepieces, so now it's doable. And while I come up to that solution on my own, the Discord was well aware of it before me, so I don't get any credit. Don't try to give me credit. I came up with it on my own, but
Don't do it.
it's not mine. Don't do it. Smarter people deserve the credit. So right now what we're doing is we put a cherry on another cherry, and the first one supports the second one, even if it gets pushed off of it through walls and such. Ooh, I didn't make it. So now I've got a floating cherry in the distance, and you can see I'm jumping past these hookshot blocks. Because I don't have a hookshot to do this level, so that allows me to get across that massive gap. Now this fight that takes a hookshot is really difficult, so instead I'm going to despawn it. So the boss is gone now. And yeah.
Oh, the game's in very high quality now.
Yeah, we're playing on high quality. That's the lag method. Just change the graphics, and you're set. So this is the thing I was talking about. I'm now stuck on the screen. It is progressing, don't worry. We're going through the timepiece cutscene. It's just not able to get off of it. So that was that. Also, I did this in the wrong order, but that's okay. The order doesn't matter. My splits are just mad at me. It's fine.
I have a question in chat. Is skipping the entire Vanessa stealth section an intended method of getting that timepiece?
It's intended in a way. They definitely built it for people to use. I'm not sure they wanted casual players to go through it, but it is there, I'm assuming, so that anyone who's easily scared are able to just skip it. Because that, if you've noticed throughout this game, it's a really cute, charming game. A lot of nice things to it. I mean, you haven't watched a single cutscene because the game automatically skips them for me in speedrun mode. But it's a really charming game. It's meant to be extremely cute, and that level is just out of left field horror level. Like, I was actually stuck in that level for 10 minutes hiding behind a dresser. It's a scary level. So any child who's playing the game and doesn't want to get, you know, spooked beyond belief, their parent can come through and just show them the little cutscene to get through, which is, I think, a nice addition.
I have a question here from gamer Andy. The question reads, do you think Futon is challenging more or approaching more?
You know, I've done a lot of approaching in the first half. I'll challenge more later.
Okay. It's a really important question, so I'm just very thankful that you answered it.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm a little surprised you read something from someone so, I don't know, silly, known for terrible things.
Silly, known for terrible things. Andy, if you wouldn't mind changing your Twitter bio, that would be really great.
Yeah.
I'm just going to remind everybody sort of what's going on if you're just tuning in. First of all, welcome. This is Challenger Approaching on the Games Done Quick Hotfix. Futon right now is showing off a Hat in Time Hatless Badgeless, so this is sort of low percent, like Futon said, is not a great definition for what this run is per se, but basically it's just challenging restrictions to change the speedrun up a bit. So for example, for those of you that have played the game, Futon is not collecting the hookshot badge, and so as a result is doing a lot of cool skips and other various skips.
Yep. It was used to be a really tough one for me, is the one I just did, jumping off that bell to hit the timepiece instead of going all the way around. I don't know why I struggled with it so much when I was first learning the speedrun. I don't know why I'm opening this again. I'm done here. We're done with subcon. I'm bailing. Oh no, I'm back. Okay, we're good. But yeah, that was one of the harder tricks I had struggled with. We're now getting to the hardest trick I've ever had to do speedrunning this. We have to do cheating the race, which is an extremely difficult level that you're meant to cheat, as you can imagine by the name. And I'm gonna have to do it by extremely perfect movement, and I'm probably gonna fail a lot. I think I lose 4 minutes here on my PB. It's just extremely difficult. So expect some mistakes, and fortunately with a lot of mistakes means I can explain every step of how difficult it is. So off the bat, I need to not hit that tree, which I immediately hit. So let's go die to this bird here, because thankfully, if you die, you can restart faster. So let's die.
So yeah, this is Futon. Is this the trick you were telling me about, Futon?
This isn't this is the trick that has the most difficulty to it. It's not the trick that'll end my run in a hard lock, but it's the difficult trick in that I actually have to be perfect right out the bat with these 3 boosts, and then this slide boost, which really sends me flying. So that's a good start. Then I want 2 boosts here, which is also a good start. And then I need to get an extremely good boost here. I didn't get a good one. That might be too slow. I can still salvage it, but I don't think so. He's pretty far ahead of us right now. So you can see the timepiece is like kind of right in front of me. The boost I wanted to get would have launched me forward, and I would have been a lot closer. But this is very difficult.
Futon, we're all on your team here. We're rooting for you.
It's good. I definitely need the support right now. This one's tough.
And the good news is,
practicing a lot earlier.
the conceit of the show. Hopefully, looks challenging.
And so it is.
Take all the attempts you want.
I can do. Fortunately for me, there's the boost I want. And a second one. There we go. That was pretty fast. 3 tries.
Go,
I'll take it.
Let's go, Futon.
Very happy with that. And now we get to do the purple rift in Mafia right afterwards, which is one of the most chill areas in the entire game.
GG, man.
Very enjoyable. Thank you. Got 2 more things to be scared of later, but I'm sure I'll do fine. They're not something I fail on as much. So, of course, I'll fail on them later.
Got a question here in chat.
That's just how it works.
Isn't it possible to run backwards around the island and win here, or does it require a hat/badge to do so?
I believe the backwards route uses the hook shot. I can't remember because I never had success going backwards. I think a lot of speedrunners have different success depending on which. No, I missed. Depending on which way they go. Backwards, some people say is a lot easier for them, but they usually do sprint and a hook shot to go across the left way. Going forwards, I found pretty nice, but I mean, it's still a super hard speedrun level. So either way works. I'm not sure if backwards works without a hat or a hook shot. I've actually not tried it because I'm more comfortable going forwards. But I want to guess it's not, because the boost on the stairs that I had to do that launched me like a mile is insanely helpful for going quick. So I'm not sure how many opportunities you have to do something like that going the other direction.
I believe the trick that has potential to hard luck is a bit later in the run.
Yeah, we'll get there after subcon. There's some boxes I have to get through because I don't have a brewer hat, and we find our own way. It's rough. We're about to get to the interesting part where we start abusing the levels a bit more. This has mostly just been strong platforming versus a generally nice game, so we're about to get to the interesting stuff coming out of this. Right after this level, I'll go clipping through some walls for everybody just so that it feels like my normal stream stuff. Glitching the video. Oh god, I got destroyed by that can-throwing Mafia member. They chuck cans at you, and if they hit you, you get no momentum movement whatsoever, so I just fell straight through the canal, and that was the end of me. Kind of rude of them, really. You shouldn't be throwing food.
Very rude.
And this is a great part of the level because I get $1 million, and I desperately need $1 million, so.
God, don't we all?
We do. So we're just gonna casually grab all of that, get out of here. And I'll do one more. The next timepiece after this will be our breaking point for a nice, chill, relaxing couple minutes or whatever you're gonna do.
To stretch and get some water.
Get a nice stretch, yeah.
Can you believe that Andy didn't actually change his Twitter bio, even though he said he did?
Wow. All right, so here we go. This is the clip. So lagging, as I mentioned earlier, can clip you through, oh, I missed, some objects as discovered in 2.1. So we're gonna come at this angle here, and if I do it correctly, I just kind of like had a mental lapse. I have to hold A coming out of this, so I have to like shift it, pause, and then hold A. There we go. That puts us straight through the corner of the wall. And now we're gonna use portions of the outer ship to get ourselves up the walls here.
Oh, I'm a big fan of two-sided collision. This is very good.
It's pretty fun. And then we want to get back inbounds for this rift here, so we're going to do the same thing and get into the timepiece. Or not the timepiece, but the rift to start one.
And if I'm not mistaken, you're inducing extra lag by changing the graphics settings?
Yes, so in 2.1, there's a nice little program called Hatlag, which you literally keybind a button to do it for you. Oh, okay, well, I guess I won't climb that edge, that's fine. But yeah, it's really nice because you can just press a button, have it keybound, and lag through that, so you don't have to menu and time stuff by holding A and whatnot. So it's got a lot of ooh, jeez. Elvis bird, why?
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying something I'd seen from Albie's PB again here, which I hadn't practiced too much, where you do that jump there, and then you climb up here. It's pretty cool. A lot faster than what I used to be doing, so I'm glad I found that. Oh, I didn't trust myself. Fail. Fail! Okay. All right. So yeah, there's some cool tech there that I had picked up recently, and I'm not fully polished on, but that's okay. We're good for your ad break.
Okay, gamers. So Futon, why don't you give us a countdown to pause the timer?
Sure. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, gamers. This is an opportunity for everybody to get up, stretch, get some water, rehydrate. We'll be back in just a few short minutes here, so don't go anywhere. We'll have more Futon, more Hat in Time, Hatless Badgeless, more Challenger approaching in just a second. Stick with us. Hello and welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix. This is Challenger Approaching, the show that showcases challenge runs and the runners that perform them. Just one quick announcement. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern is Runners Wanted King's Quest. And then at 6 p.m. will be Big John's Jumble-matic Randomizer with randomized goals. So stay tuned for all of that amazing Hotfix content tomorrow all day here on twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick. But right now, we've got Futon with a Hat in Time, Hatless Badgeless. Futon, whenever you're ready, you can give a countdown, and we'll get this thing back on the road.
All right, we'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so we left off just finishing out Mafia. Now I gotta build a train. You know, normal things.
Yes. And I think it's worth re-explaining kind of what's going on. Futon,
Sure.
Do you want to do it or do you want me to do it? Either way is all good.
It's up to you. I'll let you talk a bit, you know?
No, Futon, I want
You don't
to
talk enough. It's not
No,
your
Futon, no. This show's about you. I just meant if you were in a difficult segment or something,
No.
I could help.
No, we're good. I got this. So
Okay, you got it. Take it away.
All right, so we're doing Hatless Badgeless, which is basically the low percent of Hat in Time. We're not getting anything that helps advance or improve the Hat Kid's initial starting set. So I've still got my base hat on, and I've got no badges, because throughout the game they are giving you those, and they will help you complete levels faster, or just let you into a level at all. Pay no attention to the gigantic bill I'm racking up that I can't afford. We'll find a way to deal with that. But yeah, Hatless Badgeless is a good time because you get to put a lot of different glitches together to beat the game with as minimal items as possible. I'm going to dodge that yarn just for fun because we don't need them, and I want to have this at 0 yarns. I haven't picked up any yet, and I'm not going to start now. So we're going straight into the purple rift Deadbird here. It's not meant to be this way, but, well, it's more fun. I think it's more interesting to complete the first level of the game for not the first timepiece of the area, which is, well, I guess I said game, but I meant level, but you know what I mean.
I did know what you meant.
Oh, no, Head Kid. Oh, well, that's what you get. If only Hat Kid was as sturdy as like a mountain goat or something, that wouldn't have been a problem.
Relatable. I also want to say that I found very relatable when you said, pay no mind to the large debt I'm racking up. We'll find a way to take care of it eventually.
Yeah, that's just the thing that happens for kids, right?
I think that is just everybody.
Yeah, Hat Kid doesn't seem to have a parent to pay for things for them,
I
so
think
naturally,
especially children often deal with immense debt.
yes. I'm climbing walls I don't mean to be climbing. That's great. So this normally would take an ice hat, but they also made it close enough that you can just jump it. So who needs an ice hat when you can jump? Oh, that didn't work out. Well, sometimes I need an ice hat, apparently. That's what I get for making fun of the level. If I did that a little bit better, I would have been fine. You would have seen me climb up that pipe and land, but instead I ate my own words almost immediately, which is naturally how speedruns go. So we're just climbing boxes at record speed, essentially. That's the whole game plan here, is collect the... Oh, so I didn't explain this. I really should have done that. So these purple rifts I'm doing, I have to collect these extremely glowing orange pawns, which are Pawns, by the way, are the currency. I also didn't explain that. We're doing great over here.
I have such little knowledge of the game's core mechanics that I'm just over here like, Futon has explained everything.
Yeah, these pawns are crown pawns, which are needed in a certain number to open the tube to the next section of these. As you can see above me, there's a 4 on this one, because I needed 4, and now that I'm near it, I have none left because I paid for it. So that's essentially the premise of all of those. Just grabbing some extra cash from that section before I go through this broken window. So I, as I was mentioning, need a fortune, and hopefully I have enough money and don't have to accidentally farm. One nice thing about this game is your umbrella can rack up all the money for you, so I didn't have to like manually collect all that. I just swing it, and it's all directly in my inventory. It's wonderful. Ah man, I got a music CD. So these slot machines are extremely irrelevant to the run, but if you're lucky, you get the same type of thing from it every time. Oh, I already got them. Never mind. But I'll explain it anyways. Each different thing you get an intruder alert that pops up on your screen as you come back into the main area to explain the new thing that has arrived in your spaceship, which is a pretty good game design, but it means that I'm hoping for the same thing out of every single one of those slots just to save a little bit of time. I have no way to influence it though, so you can't really worry about it in the speedrun. It's just oh well, I lost a bit of time, no big deal kind of situation.
Futon, I've got a question in chat here. What is the money used for?
So the money's used typically, ooh, I almost got that, to open levels, and then I also need it to, don't mind me, just clipping into an elevator. Anyway, you need the money to purchase the relic stands that open up the purple rifts, like the one I had just done. So you need an increasing amount, 50, then 100, then 150 for the relic stands that I'll be using. I needed 100 to open up the Heating Up Mafia Town level, 50 for cheating the race, and then I'm going to need another 150 coming up for another level. So they're very
total.
needed. Well, yeah, it's at least 3.
That's 600 total.
Yeah, so you got to spend a whole lot in this game to get through. Yeah, I think my earlier math when I said 800 was terrible. Don't worry. I had 600 in my head, which was the correct amount I had first calculated before the run. And then I did math while speedrunning, and that's never a good idea.
All the numbers you told me added together is 600.
Perfect. That is the good number that I had thought of at the start, which means I'm not bad at math. I'm just bad at math while other things are happening.
Hey, there you go.
You know, like slightly better than just being bad at math, I guess. All right, so this level is the finale. We clipped right in, so we're doing it first. Don't worry about it. It's not going to break the game or anything. But what we are doing is extremely breaking the game. We're just going out of bounds in every situation possible to cut through this entire segment so that we don't have to do this long segment here. We'll see if I can... that's not going to work. That might work, hopefully. If it doesn't, I'm going to fall out of bounds. No, we're good. If I fell out of bounds, it would checkpoint me to right there, and I'd just have to do that segment. So yeah, if anyone missed it because of the break, the clipping method is to change your graphics. And if you hit a corner of something at a 90-degree angle there, while doing that, you just go right through it, which is pretty sweet. Very fun tech. Just let me skip a large portion of the level.
This level and the umbrella in general feel very Sly Cooper.
Yeah, that's true. I actually haven't played the Sly Cooper game, but they are... it is kind of... This entire Deadbird Studio section is kind of like a bit stealthy. There's a lot of different portions to it that aren't... the theme isn't stealth at all, but they like to incorporate a lot of stealth throughout it, and it's actually really enjoyable.
Futon, you will love Devious Raccoonus. It is a delightful game.
I'll put that on the list of games I definitely want to play. I can't remember what game I recently put on it, and I told someone I would play it, and then I forgot already, so... Sorry, friend.
That's such a vibe, honestly.
I just 8 damage there, not on purpose. I just stood in it by accident. But the game very generously gives hearts like crazy, so everything's fine. Well, it's fine. So this fight has 5 hits per phase, so that was the first 5. And each phase incorporates new mechanics like this knife attack, as well as, I guess, a different bit of, like, a theme to it. Like, this one's a lot of knives in it, and then it starts getting a little more intricate on the old attacks. So they're going to slowly improve the old attacks that we've been seeing as we go through stages here. So I'm one hit off. So this will be phase 3 now. Phase 3 is everything happens at a higher, I guess, I don't know if frequency is the right word. Instead of one knife, there'll be 3 is what I'm trying to say, and couldn't think of the words to say it. He also makes that goofy sound line. It's just so weird. Just actually sounds like Goofy for a brief moment there. And now we're at the 5 knives, so we're just gonna casually run away. That's enough to dodge them. Game does get a little bit complex with the visuals. So we're at finished phase 3, so naturally we're gonna have a nice chat about it. Like good people that aren't extremely violent. We're just gonna have a nice conversation about what we were doing. Except he's actually just gonna put a bomb on me. Really rude, I'm a child. Shouldn't be doing that to children. Oh, I'm in a bad spot. There we go. So now we have a timer to beat, which isn't too hard. Oh, fortunately I was too close to him, so he knocked me back. So I have to manage my distance to him when he's doing a few of these attacks, or he'll throw me away and make me lose even more time. So I have to wait for an okay, which is when he goes up in the air. And that is when I am capable of getting near him again, so... Oh my god. It's fine though. Alright, so now we're at the last phase. Well, second last phase. Where we just have to hit him 5 more times to get to our diffuser, which is extremely elaborate technology for a bird to have.
Futon,
oh my.
Whenever you're ready, I've got 2 questions for you.
Alright. You can fire him off at any time.
I have one question that says, streamer, what is the best music track in video game?
Unfortunately, we won't get to hear it. There's actually a good, like, 4 that I would compete with at the top spot. Here's this extremely high-tech diffuser. We're just gonna cut that. We're good. So my favorite music in this game, there's one in Alpine, which is the chapter we don't get to visit in this run, unfortunately. There's one in the DLC, which is basically the very end of the DLC, which we won't be able to hear. And then Trainwreck is another really good one that I like. It's an electro swing music style, which is just really good. Unfortunately, hookshot locked. There's no way to get around it, so another one that we're not doing. Uh-oh, am I stuck? No, we're good. So, multiple really good tracks. Basically, the whole soundtrack of this game is all really good to me. It's the soundtrack I listen to at work. The whole thing. But sadly, we're skipping all my favorite ones in the speed run, which is sad. This one was a really good track right now, though. It's great.
Gamer
what was your
Kelsey
second question?
Asks, question for Gamer, when is train music?
Oh no, I unfortunately answered that with never.
Well,
we don't get to hear it. We get to hear some train music, but it's not the train music that Kelsey wants to hear, unfortunately. Our 2 train levels, and the one that has the best electro swing music is, well, it's not in it.
Well, you know what? Everybody should just be happy to be getting Futon on the screen, okay? So please go to twitch.tv/deathfuton, one word, all lowercase, or you can put capitalization really wherever you want. Twitch is pretty good about that. And you're gonna follow the stream, and that's because Futon's a good streamer, good speedrunner, under-repped dude, deserves your follow, and that's my big tech. That's my big knowledge that everyone needs to apply to their daily lives is follow Death Futon.
So this is the first level that I was supposed to do in Deadbird. It's extremely Oh god, I went way too far. It's extremely stealth. The red cones here will alert them to me being in their view, and then I get hurt and sent back. Oh, really wanted to get this dive boost because it really shows off how the momentum is saved as you move in this game, which is really neat.
Oh, that was really cool.
I goofed it twice. Yeah, they really do a good job with how the speed tech works for stuff like that. For saving your momentum by going down slopes. Slopes really speed you up in this game. And then stuff like that. It's also really nice. I'm just gonna skip this whole level by jumping over some walls here, don't worry. And then just by going under this one. Ah, I wanted to get another fast boost off of those bags, but I blew it. Oh well. Fortunately, that's mostly for show, so I don't really harm myself by screwing it up. Uh-oh. Oh, I almost hard locked. I got a little too close to the bird. It is a danger. Not something you're supposed to do. Alright, we're just mashing through some text here. There's a lot in Deadbird to mash through, such as drawing my passport, and I now have a line over one of my eyes. And that transitions over to the save file too, so actually quite cute how the way they do that. You can draw anything you want on those. So you can like give your character an afro like Spike Vegeta did, and on your save file on the main menu it'll transfer to that screen, which is pretty cool. Irrelevant to speedrunning though. I just want to get that stuff off my screen when I'm running it. So yeah, that is finally the first level of Deadbird, which was half of what we're going to do in Deadbird. We've got 3 more of the 6. We've got the first train level, which I was saying earlier is my favorite speedrun level, because it's just some... Oh, I entered the same one. What a big dummy. It's cool though. But yeah, the next level I'll do is my favorite speedrun level, because you're kind of doing the level how it's intended, but in a way that just puts it on hyperspeed. You just blow through it. It's really cool. So we'll load it up now. Alright, so this level, you're essentially just answering all these crows questions, which is really obnoxious. I'm just gonna put in the quickest text box I can with my controller, because I don't want to switch over to keyboard. And then we're just gonna follow the forced path in it. It's a very linear level, in that you have to do specific things in a certain order, such as unlocking this door. And then you get the best outfit in the game, the crime-solving outfit. Don't I look cute now?
Yes.
It's one. 8F distantly.
I moved away. I sat back in my chair for a moment, but all I had to say was yes.
So yeah, we're suddenly witnessing a murder of an owl here. And now we have to solve the crime, which is something we are told explicitly not to do, but we're going to do it anyways. With 1 owl hour left. We have an hour to work with. And pay attention to how that clock works, because we're going to break it. So we had 1 hour left, so naturally the minute hand was at the top. But the next time you see it, it's not going to be there. Because we did immediately that trick, which is to jump up onto the 2nd floor here, which you are not supposed to do. So now the clock starts... Well, okay, I'm wrong, but that's cool. So the next clock you'll see is the one where it changes. So we went only 10 minutes ahead there, but it's not supposed to be at that point yet. So it registered the 10 minutes that had passed, but the next time you see the clock will be at a different timer. I forgot where. See, there we go. Now it's at the 30 already. Makes no sense. And turn to the 40. Ooh, did I not make it? I did not make it. I was a little light on my jumping skill. There we go. Some sweet tech in this game to climb walls and jump onto things that you're not supposed to get to.
Yeah, that looks
Such
really,
as
really fresh.
landing on the top of this door. And now the 40 minutes is suddenly 50 and our time is up. And we're done the level, which is why I absolutely love this speedrun level, because it's just, you just obliterate what you're supposed to do with some really cool skips. It's just everything I like in my speedruns. These cool tricks that save massive amount of times on otherwise linear levels. It's a great time. And now the murder victim is standing because they're not actually dead. Spoiler alert. I've ruined the game for Adef. I'm sorry.
Absolutely ruined. Soiled it. I am so upset. I can't believe it.
Will it make you feel better if we run around getting pictures taken?
Yes.
All right, we'll do that next then.
Thank you. That was the one thing that if you said it, I would say yes.
Excellent. We'll get some nice, cute Hat Kid pictures on the screen that'll really cheer you up here.
Thank God.
Well, that's the splash screen that shows them all immediately, which is wastes the fun of me trying to get them one by one.
Still good.
Still good though, yeah. So every time I walk in front of one of these penguins, we get a nice little picture. They're quite funny. Oh, I blew it. I went a little to the side. If we squeeze just enough to the wall, we can go around that wall fixture and just get straight up here. Then I want to land directly on this penguin. So essentially the purpose of this stage is we want to gain popularity, and all this different stuff in the level triggers it. So we're just trying to like rush ourselves into as many as possible. So we're just got this nice defined route where we just trigger a ton of them. I am a little bit concerned about my money, so I am going to go out of my way. Grab all of this. I think I'm extremely low, unfortunately. Ow. Got hit by a car.
Don't worry, you can get hit by a car 3 more times.
This Hat Kid is durable. I'm, ooh, almost happened. I'm just going out of my way for money. I wouldn't normally go this way, but I'm a bit behind on my cash at the moment, which is very not good for me. There we go. So we just maxed out the Diva score and immediately get our timepiece. I need to pay a little bit of attention to how much money I have, because I have to spend 150 on the next level, and then I have to, well, maybe not the next level, but the level after it, and then I have to spend another 150 on a relic stand, which is gonna bankrupt me. So I need to go into the next level with 160, and I'm almost certain I'm a little too low because I didn't manage my money well enough, unfortunately, which means you will be seeing me waste a bit of time collecting money just to be safe. Not in this stage, but before the next one.
It's not wasted if you're having fun.
And to answer the question in chat that I just caught, I am playing on controller. Keyboard is slightly faster, I believe, in several situations, especially in the mail delivery level, but I won't be doing mail delivery because you need a sprint hat for it, so can't do it. Otherwise, a really quick level. All right, so I am, I think, 15 pawns shorter than I would like to be, so we're gonna take a brief step back into picture perfect right after this to get some money, because Hat Kid is in debt. All right, this is one of the harder levels when I first started picking up the speedrun, because you have to like perfectly walk off this jump, get the right distance, and climb this edge. And I was really bad at it. I don't know what I've done to improve, but I don't fail it anymore, so that's nice. But if you are new to the speedrun, which I recommend picking up, you might find yourself failing on that a lot, and don't worry. It is harder than it looks. Don't feel bad. Oh god. Headlock wanted to do something to throw me off the world. Got a little concerning. I was worried. It's okay though. This gear is a bit slow. I don't remember the way to climb it as quickly anymore, unfortunately. So I just take the slow ride. It's no big deal.
Take it easy. Just,
oh no! I had it and then I clipped through it and fell back down.
Oh, weird.
We'll just kill this sleepy raccoon for no good reason. There we go. Yeah, the gear is turning, so I think because it turned as I was going up, it clipped me right out of it, unfortunately. But that's okay.
So you've got 22 timepieces, and you said there's only 25 necessary to beat the game?
There's 26 available, and I'm skipping one of them, which is the final fight in Subcon, the Snatcher fight, which is generally not doable. But there's a way to pick up a cherry, place it on another cherry, pick up that first cherry while standing on the second cherry, and because the second cherry is a is resting on the first cherry that you're picking up, it like becomes a, I don't remember the exact term for it, but it's essentially just forcefully moving forever because of that combination. And you just launch yourself into the sky, and you just drop down into the final cutscene area and don't even have to fight the boss, which is really cool, and I'd like to show it off, but I did it on my first ever run, and then I lost the VOD, and I don't remember my setup. And it's different from 1.0 to 2.1, the way that cherries work, so no one really has a good setup that's quick. It's a thing that I've seen people do commonly in 1.0 slowly, where you can walk slowly into the sky, but it doesn't launch you to your destination like it should if you want to go fast, so I haven't been doing that. Alright, so on this level it's fairly auto-scroller. We have a timer that's going to pop up in the bottom right, and then when it fills, we have to do a specific thing as fast as possible to start the next timer. So it's a lot of time fill mixed with quick bursts of trying to go quick. So right now I'm going to use the timer to collect all this money that I need, because I need 150, and I am at only 122. So we're just going to go around the level collecting all the money that I need. And in response to a chat question, I can't do the train rush level because I don't have a hookshot, and there is absolutely zero way to start the level without it. You need to hookshot onto a lever, which will start the fight, or the event. But I cannot afford it, or I can afford it because it only costs 30 pawns, which would save me a ton of money, but I can't actually do the level, so spending my money there would actually hurt me a lot, which is also something I've constantly been afraid of. If I accidentally buy it, I am in trouble. I would be low on cash from that accident. So we're just looking for 10 more. The timer's almost up though, so I want to head to the next piece that I want to be at, which is right in front of me, I believe. Hopefully. Am I wrong? Did I go the wrong way? I went the wrong way. It's that way. I lost track of the time because I was answering a question, which is on me. I should have managed my time better. Chat, you're welcome to ask as much as you want. It's my fault if I distract myself with it.
I should be facilitating more questions, but I was enamored with your gameplay. I will now do my actual job.
Don't worry. There's a lot of downtime in this segment, so I was able to read. So we're just hitting all these switches. Did I go the wrong way? Oh man, I went the wrong way. Got really thrown out of sync here. I like to set myself up on one of these and then plan my route ahead of time, so I hit them all in the shortest path, but I started on the last one I like to go on first, which really turned me backwards. That's okay though.
Here's a question. Is this game full of exploits, or is it more like mechanics and routing?
I guess it depends on how you want to define an exploit in that way.
Let's say, like,
a bad answer, but
are there more glitches which skip large swaths of gameplay, or are there more individual level tricks?
There's actually almost none that just skip, like, oh, I don't need to do this entire segment anymore, because the way you need timepieces just kind of forces the game into a constant pattern of only level by level play. So you're basically always playing it as an individual level style, which is kind of leans itself towards individual exploits that work towards like either using movement or glitches to really abuse individual levels. There are tricks that are functional in a multitude of different levels, and not just like, oh, it works only in this one level. Like, that doesn't happen too often, that you're finding a glitch that only works on one level, because they all use similar concepts. But there is a lot of stuff that you'll find and learn that doesn't really apply itself other places. So the clipping I was using earlier is a very good use of, I can clip in almost any level on almost any 90-degree angle. Whether it's useful in anywhere is a different story, but you have basically a mechanic that you can abuse anywhere you want. And there's only a few things in the game that is, hey, in this specific level you can do this really cool trick. There are a lot of instances of that in the game, but they're not really applied on a speed run, unfortunately. They don't get to be shown off. The common stuff would be how to skip Dweller Hat levels. Is mostly just really good movement tech by using double jumps effectively. I'm getting a little worried here. My controller's Bluetooth is being a problem. but that's okay.
You can
Almost
always,
done.
no pressure. You can always just pause the game for a second to figure it out. That is not an issue.
Yeah, I do have spare batteries waiting, so I'll be set. Now, got zapped by the electricity on that wire. But yeah, there's a lot of cool tricks that are just on how the movement is to help exploit the mechanics of the game through clever use of the tools that they've given you. So, for example, there's a trick that if you, as I mentioned earlier, the game's kind and you can jump as you come off a platform. But if you do that similar style, the second you release your sprint hat and then jump, you get the momentum of your sprint hat, but you can jump a second time, which is otherwise not possible because the sprint hat actually forces you to only have one jump instead of a double jump, so it's kind of a trade-off. This is the super hard trick that I was mentioning that could hard lock my game. So to get into this section past here, I need to get by these boxes, but without a brewer hat, I don't have the way to break them. So I want to get myself wedged. Ooh, I might have broke it. This might be bad. Yeah, I blew it. That's unfortunate. So the downside of blowing it, like I did, yeah. So I unfortunately have to use cheat codes, so now my run is invalid. That's the hard trick. Welcome to hard lock, and therefore run's dead, but it's cool. We don't care.
Yeah, this is more of just a showcase of the challenge run anyway. So yeah, this is a very difficult trick where Futon is trying to clip out of bounds and go through this collision here. And unfortunately, if you clip in, you're unable to get out once stuck. And so instead of just resetting and playing the last hour over again, Futon is just going to use a cheat code to get himself back out so he can try the trick again.
What happened that I went wrong with was I pressed A one too many times, so I bonked Hatkid into a spot I didn't want them in. And from there, it was all over, unfortunately. So I'm looking for this, where I get stuck the first time, and then I straighten, which is what I've been setting my camera up for. And then I go a little bit to the right. And once I get into a situation where I start sliding up when I mash A, I want to mash A until Hatkid goes back that far. And now I want to straighten again, and we should be in the clear. I'm lagging a lot, but that's okay. We're in there. You can see me slowly moving to the left, which means I had succeeded. And there we go.
GG, Futon. Hey, this is what, like third, fourth try? That's not bad at all.
Yeah, I would have had it first, but I accidentally pressed A as I recognized that I had gone too far, and it put me too high up into the door and stuck myself into the wall. So that's the relic stand we need to open our purple rift. So that's why we have to clip back there. There are two things in here that we have to go to. So we absolutely have to go there in 1.0. There's no skipping it, unfortunately. You can't be like, well, there's one timepiece that makes the run easier, so let's do that one instead. There's no option for that required. And there's no way to clip into that because that section of the world is too high up to reach. I guess I could do some nonsense with some picking up some balls that are sitting around in the main lobby, which I'll show off after the run's over in the 2.1 tech. But it's a bit of a slow thing to do, so it wouldn't really be worth it. So there's no easy way to clip in at all. Unfortunately, the level above is way too high. And I'll answer that question that was just asked as well. Could I save before the trick? Unfortunately, no. The requirements for all Hat in Time speedruns are basically single segment, no saving and quitting, so you can't return to the main menu at all. For whatever reason. I don't fully understand the reasoning behind it, but I know they have it decided that way for good reason. I can just assume they have a good reason behind it. I just don't know why. So it is not permitted in the speedruns. Alright, so this is our 25th and final timepiece before the final boss. It is the purple subcon rift, which is behind a giant green fiery wall. But this wall is not well constructed, so I'm just going to go around it. Don't worry. So in the first level in subcon, my task was to burn some paintings. And then in the well, I also burned a few paintings. You might not have noticed because it was kind of like a side to what I was doing. But the burning of the paintings actually unlocks extra areas in this area so that you can traverse them later, which is, I like it as a game mechanic. And there's one more that I haven't done here, but with a clever dash onto this wall that hasn't properly been constructed, you just go around it, and we don't have to worry about that one anymore. It's just a neat little trick here. I guess that's a case of there's a neat single level exploit that you can take advantage of. Doesn't really happen anywhere else in the game. It's just some movement to get you around a otherwise obnoxious barrier. Now I just want to land on these blue things. Hat Kid, no. She was having a little trouble there.
Little stutter step.
Yeah, I got a little worrying.
Futon, you, I don't mean to put you on the spot on the big stage here, but you thinking about submitting anything Hat in Time related for Summer Games Done Quick 2021?
I'm not doing anything for summer 2021. I'm not comfortable enough. I can, for example, this run I'm currently doing, my PB is a 119, and I know for a fact that I can get it down to a 115, which is a lot of improvement, which I'd like to improve on more. And I'd also like to explore the 2.1 stuff a bit more before I submit it, because I think the 2.1 run would be a lot more fun and faster, which is also extremely important. So I want to put something together with that before I put it into a GDQ. So hopefully by 2022 I'll be nice and ready. So in this one, we're collecting as much of these as possible because later on the levels get really obnoxious. So I can already get out of this floor, but since they carry over, I'm grabbing a bundle extra. Oh, don't go, no, okay, we're good. I was on a bad cycle with that. I was a little worried I wasn't gonna make it. So yeah, now we have 3 extra coming into this one, which is important because it can be a bit of an annoying section. These pillars crumble underneath me as I land on them. I want to get 1 extra because the next stage only costs 1 and I don't want to have to fight anything. I used to get that spider's pawn because it's a bit faster, but I've been having trouble where if I kill it, I just suddenly lose control of my character and fly off the edge, which is, as you could imagine, slow. And we're done using money, so we're just gonna get out of here immediately. Don't need to collect any of that. And now we get to the final cutscene. Well, not final cutscene, but the cutscene. The mustache girl cutscene to get us into the final level.
Here we go!
Where we get to control our villain, who... I guess you didn't know they were a villain yet, but they are. That would have been explored by all the cutscenes that the game automatically skips for me, because the devs are wonderful and added an automatic skip cutscene setting for speedrunners. Very kind. Don't have to mash through a million things, you only have to mash through a few things. And there we go. Final level. So this level is, as you can imagine, very lava-filled, very dangerous, because it is a final level. And you will see all of that as I run over top of it, ignoring all of it. Because you can just go above the... Oh, that's a wall. I shouldn't go into those. So we're just going to jump over this wall, which stops all the hat requirements that the game typically tries to check to make sure you're able to get into the stage. And then the game's like, whoa now, you're missing a key item.
That didn't seem very hard at all.
It is not hard. It is very easy, actually. They make it harder in 2.1. They realized how easy that was, and they were like, okay, well, casual people might find this. We're going to raise the ceiling. And I'm going to showcase it later, but it is far more difficult and really janky. I don't like it. It's a tough way to go over it. There is another way you could go past it as well with the lag clipping stuff, but it takes like an extra 30 seconds to navigate around the rooftops of the ship to get there. So, well, I'll hopefully get the janky method on the first or 10th try, and then yeah, we'll go from there. So here's the very intimidating, large platforming section full of lava, and naturally, I'm going to jump directly into the lava. Oop, I goofed. Which means I have 1 health. Life is dangerous now. It wouldn't be a challenger approaching if I wasn't in constant danger, though, would it?
Hey, that's the name of the show.
Exactly. Alright, so we've clipped out of bounds, and now we are just going to slide up onto the rooftop here. There is a trick to slide all the way to the very end, but it's very difficult, and I'm not good at it. And this method is only like 4 seconds slower. So I'm just gonna boost my way across the ceiling, and you guys get to look at the level from miles high. Enjoy the view. We're gonna be running like this for quite a while. And then we'll get right into the final boss.
Very cool view of the level.
It is nice. I like, that's some of my favorite stuff about glitches, is you get like perspectives on stuff, which is, it's a bit like a meta breaking thing in the way where you see these, or I guess fourth wall breaking in a way, because you see these chains just hanging from air. It kind of loses your immersion entirely.
Sure.
You just see the game as the way you're not intended to, but it's also a nice perspective because you get to see all this cool stuff that
I think glitch art was
really
kind
puts
of
it together.
That was a little more prominent in speedrunning a couple years ago, but it was, you know, the practice of like finding a really cool, highly glitched, like take one screenshot of your game in a state in which you are either looking at something out of bounds that looks really like pretty, or a really cool set of circumstances that are like, how'd that happen? I think that has sort of fallen off a bit, which is a shame because it was really cool.
Yeah, I actually had a lot of that when I was in my World of Warcraft days. It was a really fun thing to do here. Just go out of bounds in weird spots that I don't think many people knew about and just try to find stuff. It was, I've always been a big glitchy boy. Do whatever I can to break the video game.
Big glitchy boy.
So now we want to get back in bounds here. So we're going to jump carefully and to hit this cutscene load box. Now we're at the final boss fight without having to do any of the level. The worrying thing is if I die, I'm back at the start of the level, so I have to be pretty careful here. Okay. Ooh. I just have to hit her 3 times and hopefully not get destroyed in the process. There we go. And now I'm full health, so there's no worry of the run dying.
Nice.
Unless I blow it on this next phase, which I guess could happen. But yeah, that was the hard part I was really worried about, because dying there is terrible. And we're good now. And goodbye bitrate, by the way. Welcome to Destroyer of Streams. It's a lot going on in this level. Very hard to see, and it'll get even worse on the final stage of the fight, because she starts going like hyperspeed on her attacks, and you just lose all track of everything. It gets hard to see. Alright, so that's phase 1. She's now going to teleport away from me, and I can't catch up to her. Now we just got to roll a ball into her repeatedly. It auto-aims, so you don't have to worry about it. I know a lot of people have tried to carefully aim it directly into her, but since the game is extremely kind, no, you don't need to do that. Which also makes this one of the easiest fights in the game, in my opinion. There's one hard section, and then, in my opinion, the rest of this fight is actually pretty easy. Gotta mash through some text here. And I'll start throwing us some cherries to break her shield that she currently has. I accidentally threw that cherry and missed her, but caught it in air, which I did not know I could do. That was fun. Nope. She's being rude. Putting her shield up immediately. Oh my god, that bounced so far. Hey, I didn't even get to hit her. What a cheater. Oh no, that was close. She almost made me look like a fool.
Almost. She did.
Almost.
Futon's too good for that.
There we go. And from here on, the fight is free because you literally cannot die. But there is another phase that I have to beat her up in. There's a cute moment here where they all start sacrificing their life to constantly heal me with the heart pawns that they drop. Very adorable lore, but it means the devs could amp up this last stage to be absolutely chaotic. But with no threat of dying, it's more just, dang it, mustache girl, get back here so I can beat you up. It's mildly annoying. especially without a hat. Normally you have the brewer hat and you can just chuck bombs at her from distance, which is very helpful for speeding up the fight. But I don't have that option, so I have to wait for her to return to the ground through these phases and then catch up to her when she's jumping all over the place. So it's going to be a little hectic. This ability is the one that sucks the most because she just runs from me at hyperspeed, jumping around. I lost track of her entirely. I don't see her anymore. There's so much on the screen. There we go. I believe I only have the one left. Nope, 2 left. I'm wrong. So yeah, I took a hit there and I'm already full health because the game just heals you every second. And that's the fight. Final boss done, and time will be me hitting the giant ball of timepieces here. And time.
GG Futon. Can we get
fun.
what was that?
I said that was fun.
Yeah.
Good time.
Let's get some GGs in the chat for our boy Futon, big glitchy boy. He said so himself.
Mm-hmm.
And if we could please get some follows on twitch.tv/deathfuton to commemorate this amazing run. Several of the really hard tricks were performed so quickly, Futon. That's so sick.
Yeah, it's hard to explain them when they go by that fast. So I apologize if there was any glitches that the viewers did not even get to comprehend. It's a bit hard for me to go on the fly like that.
Oh, no worries. You did a great job. The commentary was clean, crystal clear, and consistent. Lots of C words. You know, you were on top of it. It was great, and the run was super entertaining, so nice job. I think we've got a little bit of a showcase here. We are gonna probably take a quick break here just for a moment while we get set up with the showcase. But we're gonna do some glitch showcase stuff on the 2.1 version of the game, so the more updated version, right? Am I correct in 2.1
Yes.
saying that?
You are correct.
Well, there you go. So we will have an updated version showcase here in just a moment, so stick around. We'll be right back with more Challenger approaching, more Death Futon, more A Hat in Time, speedrunning nonsense in just a second. So get up, stretch your legs, and grab some water, and we'll be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. As always, I am the host of Challenger Approaching ADEF. Tonight, we have had Futon on, showing off some Hat in Time stuff. We just finished up the Hat in Time Hatless Badgeless run, and in a moment here, we're going to have a cool showcase of a bunch of various 2.1 updated tech. Really quick, just a few quick announcements. First of all, on Sunday, there will be a Seasons Link's Awakening DX race starting at 1 p.m. Until 4 p.m. And then the Games Done Classic Awful Block will be directly after that. Also, your subs, gift subs, Amazon Prime subs, and bits cheered to the GDQ Twitch channel help support our weekly hotfix content. So thank you for supporting our shows. It helps us make shows like this one possible. So thank you for your continued support. Futon, take it away.
Alrighty. So this is a glitch showcase for 2.1, and that is going to be with DLC, Yakuza, and Seal the Deal, although Seal the Deal is long forgotten by everybody because it takes so many timepieces, so you'll never see it in a speedrun. But Yakuza can open at 20, which I have a save file here already at, and I'm going to show you how we can put that together for our Hatless Badgeless run if we wanted to update it to the newest version. First of all, we have to, well, I'm going the wrong way. We have to clip out of bounds to get to it, so I'll show you the telescope for this area, which is out of bounds, so don't worry about my game lagging. This is with the hat lag button that I was talking about. Oh my god, I'm lagging on my own though. This is the hat lag button that lags the game for me, so I can just clip through the wall here without any menuing or anything. Very nice for speedrunning. And we can also just, oop, I almost got it. We'll just clip back and bounce here.
And that's an addition that the devs added?
I think this was made by community members so that you could speedrun with lag in a more effective way, since it's a very useful tool in 2.1. So this is the telescope that we're going to open, and as you can see beside me, the tile here is an ice hat. I need an ice hat to go through this, So we're gonna have to find a way through, and you might think, well, clipping is the way to go. I'm gonna go into fly mode here to actually show you what's underneath. If we go underneath this, no, I can't clip in. There's nothing here. So that actually loads me somewhere else. So let's just put ourselves back in bounds real quick here. And I'll show you how we're gonna find our way there. So step one, we're gonna need some balls, 2 balls to be exact. They are very helpful. So we're gonna grab this one that looks like the little snatcher, which is the purple guy you saw in Subcon. We're gonna bring this to a nice location that we need. Over this way. We're gonna jam it into this wall right here. And that'll just sit in a nice spot right there on the ceiling. And now we're gonna lag out of bounds. Oh, or we won't, that's fine too. There we go. And we'll go collect it from outside the world. And while we're out here, if you look directly ahead into the blue, very far away, you can see some dark outlines in the distance. And that is where I actually need to get to. That is Yakuza all the way out there in the distance. So we're gonna get our way there. So let's collect this ball through the floor. And we're gonna jump onto this little stuff here. Throw the ball up to this section so we can get it all the way on the roof, which is good for us. And now, I guess I could bring this all the way over while I'm here. So now we want it on a rooftop down there, so we gotta carefully jump and throw it. And let's just stabilize it so we don't lose track of it, because we are gonna need it. But we need a second ball, so we're gonna go get that next. And the place to find it, oh, well, that's unfortunate. The place to find it is in the mailroom, which you may have seen me clip to in my speed run that I did earlier, which means I have to clip to it again. So you'll see me go there a second time.
This out of bounds around the ship is so pretty.
It's really cool. They have windows along the ship, which is why it is all textured. It has a purpose to be like this. They didn't just randomly add that.
Right.
So they have windows that let you see it. So they decided, well, if you're going to see it, they better texture it. And so now it's got nice visual platforms. Otherwise, it might be a nightmare to try to jump around. But fortunately, with what we have, we can see. So I'm going to do it the same way. There was another way to get a ball out of bounds, but I'm not going to show it. Well, I guess I can. I'm probably not going to die, right? So let's go put this down right here. There we go. That's probably good. And we're going to go out of bounds to ball number 1. I went too far, so I didn't clip. I think I was a little... No, we're good. Okay. So we're out of bounds now. And now we're not out of bounds, and I goofed it, and I'm a little worried about my health, so I'm just gonna do it the other way. We got one more try. Yeah, we'll do it one more time. Okay. We'll showcase it. It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm technically gonna showcase it a bit later, but it's more fun to showcase both ways to do this now. One's technically faster, which is the way I'm trying to show you, but it is dangerous because you do take health. So now I am on flat ground, which is safe ground, and the game will put me back there if it doesn't know what to do with me. When I take damage, I get put back where I spawned initially, which is on this ball, which is not safe ground. So the game doesn't know how to handle this, so I'm just going to be placed somewhere else. So what we do is we lag a lot before hitting the ground here, and it'll teleport us back to the last safe ground, which is on this roof. So now our ball is here immediately. We don't have to go through all the trouble we went through with the last ball to get it here. I'm glad I got that first try too, because I only have 1 health. If I didn't, I would have died. So now we want to put these balls down in a very specific spot. Well, I guess it's a little bit not specific. You don't have to be too careful. We do have to be careful though, because Hat Kid will kick them if she gets too close. And if I kick them off the platform, they're gone, and I have to die. So we're going to be a little bit careful. So we want stacking one on the other, just like the cherries I was talking about and the other stuff, but now you get to see what I mean by it. We're going to grab the bottom one, and the second one's going to get stuck on a roof above me. I'm going to jump and carefully land on it if I can. I'm a little bit worried about the position I have it in. Nope, I kicked it, so let's bail. Don't want to accidentally launch it, so we're just going to carefully reset this up. A little bit better placement here. Let's Let's try again, shall we? Gotta get my position better. I'm a little worried here that I'm gonna mess it up. There we go. Oh, I'm a little too close. I might be able to fix that. There we go. All right. Well, now I went too far forward. There we go. So I want to jump and just inch my way underneath it. Oh my God. I blew it. I kicked it. We'll get it. This doesn't take too much effort to get it right, so don't worry. I'll be
Got
here
this,
forever.
Futon. Plus, good news. There's no time restraint. So
There isn't.
you're chilling.
I am big chillin'. This is a fun glitch to do too. It's really cool. So we gotta get this to get stuck again. I zoomed out a little too much. Alright, so it's getting stuck the way I want it. I want to land on it, which I did, and now the ball will just carry me in a direction. Now it's going the wrong way, so I have to carefully adjust myself the other... Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Head kid, can we turn around? It's a bit better. So now we're just sliding slowly in the direction of the level that I was talking about in the distance. And that'll take us there. Now I have 1 health, so there is fall damage. And if I don't cancel the fall damage at the right time, I will die on impact. So hopefully I don't goof that. I should be okay though. So yeah, we'll just take a casual stroll through the sky.
Very pretty view.
Yeah, they have some stuff in the distance too. I can't see any of it. Oh, there's a world over there, which is actually smaller than you'd think based on what it looks like from here. You can actually just like fly through that stuff. Am I going... I'm not sure I'm aiming at it entirely. Can't tell. The depth perception is rough. Am I going the right way? I feel like no, so I'm gonna try to adjust this. That seems good. I don't know if I'm getting closer.
You're definitely getting closer.
It isn't the best angle, unfortunately. I did get a really slow, high angle. It's not the fastest ball hover that I've done in my life, but we are getting there eventually, and that's what counts. Normally I'm facing the other direction and moving about 2 or 3 times the speed towards where I want to go, so it's only like a 15-second flight. We are taking our sweet time. That's okay. As long as I'm going where I want to go. I seem to be missing it again, though. I have to
It
readjust.
does feel that way. It does feel as though you're... that looks good.
Why is she turning? Head kid?
Maybe you're hitting some kind of boundary?
I don't think so. I think I'm just stuck weirdly on the ball and it just isn't going well. Yeah, have I lost all my momentum? Oh, I'm going the wrong way. All right. She's now spinning in circles. Which has... Oh, God. Head kid. Head kid? I might lose control of these balls and fall. Nope. All right. Everything's fine. This is okay. This is not supposed to go this way, but we are moving in the correct direction again. I'm just going to nudge her. She is spinning, and that's not a common occurrence. I don't have the best grasp of these balls at the moment, and it's very worrying. Oh, now I'm going the wrong direction. Here, we can force it a bit here. I'm just going to hold up very lightly, and it'll constantly realign her in this direction. There is a risk that I ruin it by doing this, but I want to actually reach my destination, so we're going to have to take that risk. But I think we might be over it now, so I'm going to drop them and try to land inbounds here. Oh yeah, that looks good. Let's just get ourselves this way some more. And we're in. Now we are in the area. We can't get in there yet, but fortunately, for some strange reason, there's just a little bit of collision missing here. I just walk right inside. Now we are at the telescope and ready to play. So now I'm going to give 5 quick timepieces for you guys from the Yakuza DLC. And they are going to be quite quick. There's a reason why this level is extremely used in any percent now. The timepieces are very fast to get in a speedrun setting. They're also just fun in general. But I'm going to do some wild stuff here. Let me, while it loads, because this is a long load bar, I'm going to open up my other splits here because I want to make sure I do these in the correct order. I don't want to get lost on the way. I should have prepped this ahead of time, but I forgot. But it's okay.
That was very sick, Futon. GG. You did it.
I did it. I did the first of many a tricks. All right,
Wow,
here we go.
very on-the-fly corrections. It was great.
Oh, well, I guess I'm down. I guess it didn't hurt me either. That was neat. I just fell into the void and it decided I was okay.
Well, the design of this level is delightful.
It's a very Neo Tokyo look, and they do a great job of making it extremely charming. I just smashed the ceiling and lost all of what I was trying to do. That's okay. Alright, so we want to get over here. The trains do affect my momentum, so it's mildly annoying. Get out through this way. Gotta wait for our next train. Now we take a nice train ride. Run by cats, because how else would you get around?
Also, the train, as it was going up the hill, just warped. It
Oh
bent.
yeah,
It
they
bent.
very bendy metal. Honestly, it's quite well designed for its purpose. I missed the timepiece. But as you can see, a very quick intro timepiece, and they are all about this speed. Very quick. And we get a rare sticker. I don't know how to get rid of those on my speedrun. I'd like them to not exist. All right. Trick number 2. We're gonna go out of bounds, as you could imagine. If I can get it right. We just want to lag into the corner of this dumpster like we've been doing every other 90-degree object. That was not a good. There is like a setup to make it a little easier, but I've not practiced at it, so I'm not comfortable trying it just yet. Oh, that looked good too. I thought it was it. There we go. So now we're just out of bounds, living on train
Oh,
tops.
that is gorgeous.
And we can just take some
Wow.
cuts around here.
What a pretty OOB.
Yeah, it's great. And of course, with all OOBs, there's just this textureless box here. Kind of just fits pretty much every out of bounds you've ever seen. We didn't put a texture on this, so it looks
Wow, the
like a
moment you
checkered
clicked
box.
out and there was just all those trains, and now you can see them again. That's so cool.
So now we want to clip back in right here. I don't think I was supposed to dash. That was a mistake. I was supposed to just land on this. And that's a quick time piece as well. But yeah, the out of bounds here is really cool. I actually learned about it from that same speedrun I was talking about earlier that taught me some new tricks. Because I had not run 2.1 at all, and I was watching their speedrun. I was like, man, there's a lot of really cool stuff involved around this. So I'm going to show you what happens when I leave, because A, I have to start the next speedrun portion, and B, because it's important later. In my speedrun that I was just doing, when I finished getting 25 timepieces, I was brought out of the last telescope I was at, which is where you see me now. And going up through the spring that would take me back into the ship, it takes me into that room that I was in with the telescope spawner, with the ice hat platform. But unfortunately, there's no way to get in or out of there. Well, in through clipping, I guess, but out of there, you can't get out. So coming back from Nyakuza after you get your 5 timepieces here is actually a bit of a challenge for Hatless Badgeless without co-op. So I'll be showcasing how to do that later too, which is something that was found somewhat recently by the community. I believe it was Emoji Maker and Doka had found it, and it's some really cool tech. Hopefully I can show it off. I don't know where I am right now. Oh boy, I almost missed. But we're here, that's fine. So yeah, out of bounds again, our favorite place to be. I'm just gonna run across the tops of trains more, and we're gonna visit our favorite checkered box again. Is it checkered if they're made of lines? Probably.
Unclear.
So we're just gonna come back and bounce here now. You might have seen the glow through the blocks. That was another timepiece shining through the floor. Now we have it.
Fun camera angle.
Yep. There's some of those camera angles are quite entertaining. I had one the other day where I was stuck in a weird spot, and so all you could see was Hat Kid eyes just in the screen, and that was it. So it really looked like the eyes emoji, but with Hat Kid. It was pretty good. I'm trying to remember now. Oh, you know what? We're good, but I did that in a different order, so I have to remember which one that was. All right. So So normally I was going to do this one I'm about to do first because it's the same thing but without all the crazy out of bounds. But I did them in the backwards order, which I think makes more sense to me because if you screw up the out of bounds enough and you want to just get a fresh try on it, you can just finish the level because it's in the same area. But I forgot. It's okay though. All right, so we're gonna go back where we were, but instead of clipping through the bushes, we're actually gonna do the level. Oh, I might miss that train. I do want to be on it though. I can get on the next one. Okay, so, ooh, some lag in a very inopportune time, but we're okay. So now
there's a question in the chat. Is the timer supposed to be moving? We're currently, Futon's just doing a bit of a showcase, so we have the timer up on what his final time was on the challenge run that he performed. And now we're just kind of showing off some cool tech. Futon wanted to show off some cool levels, some cool speedrunning stuff in the newer version of the game. So we're just letting the timer sort of chill.
Yeah. I'm just doing the 5 timepieces that would replace the really slow stuff you'd see me doing in the run prior to this. There's some levels, like the Dead Bird finale, takes like 8 minutes with the way I do it, even with glitches to cut through a lot of the level. It's just such a long slog through the level mixed with that super long boss fight against the yellow bird that it takes a long time to go through. We're whipping through these 5 levels. So I was climbing that wall there to hit a loading plane to put me up here so that I can... Oh, I goofed it. I want to go back and try that again.
I am such a big fan of the aesthetic of this level.
Oh, it's beautiful. This place is amazing.
I love the trains flying overhead. That is so good.
There we go. So I kept all my momentum going into that little booper thing that shot me flying.
The booper?
Slingshot me all the way over to this. I don't know what they call it, honestly.
Well, it's a booper now.
It is now. And yeah, so that's immediately all 5 of the timepieces that we wanted. Very quick, and that would save like 20 minutes out of the run. Well, maybe not 20, but if you consider the fact that I did about 5 or 6 of these or 5 of these in about 6 minutes or so, you can imagine cutting out the 3-minute levels from the previous run that I had shown you is pretty good. All right, so now we're in the post cutscene here. We're at 25 timepieces, but Hat Kid is stuck in Nyakuza. So we need to get Hat Kid back, and the easiest way to transport Hat Kid is to enter a telescope. So we're gonna actually do that as Mustache Girl through some very clever out of bounds. She can't grab ledges, so the out of bounds you've previously seen me using isn't actually possible.
Was she T-posing holding the ball just then?
Oh yeah, she doesn't have many graphics because she's not supposed to do many things. So when she gets into a place she's not supposed to be, she T-poses. So I T-posed her using the ball, and then I picked up the ball and hit the crouch button at the same time, which put me through the wall. But I do need that ball, so I'm gonna come back for it.
Someone needs to bug that missing animation.
So we got to get that ball back though. We need that for some more tricks. So now that we're out of bounds, we just got to come back and grab it from underneath. And got to be very careful because there's a very slim platform that I'm landing on there. I know it looks like I'm very not worried about it, but if you look down there, there's actually just nothing. And I'm landing on air, and it's a thin patch of air.
I assume you're not supposed to go into the mailroom where that missing animation was.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that because she just triggers it naturally. I'm scared. I don't like the angle I'm on. I'm putting this ball down because I'm supposed to put the ball down. I was normally going to carry it closer, but I'm a little worried, so I'm just going to put it down. So now that I have the ball out like I wanted, I need it up on the roofs. And as I showed you earlier, oh, this is a bit far. As I showed you earlier, you can... I didn't get it. I need to land on the ball. If you land on the ball, it saves your... It doesn't count as a safe place, and then if you lag, you get sent to the last one, which is what I did before, and we're going to do it again to try to get the ball on this roof. So I have to get the distance correctly, though. There we go. All right, we're on it. I'm going to switch to keyboard, because I only know how to do it on keyboard. We're going to pick up the ball, jump, and then lag like crazy. I don't believe I got it. Unfortunate. So we're going to put the ball back down. Hopefully it is going to land on the floor. That's good. Good sign. Or I'm going to lag. Okay, so that's unfortunate for me. My game just lagged on me and ate my inputs because Bluetooth controllers are not the best. Speedrun with wired controllers, friends. We're just going to... put ourselves back, not out of bounds. Because if we fall here, we get sent all the way back to Yakuza as Mustache Girl, which is very not good for the speedrun. Because we'd have to get her back, which isn't that bad. It sounds like it's terrible, but the reality is I just enter the telescope and relieve the telescope, and it would do the cutscene again, and I just have to start this whole trick from scratch. But that's okay. So we're going to do this again, flag correctly this time, and now we're on the roof with our ball. And we're going to want to bring it up here, and then we're going to want to bring it down to this weird section here that I can, for some reason, stand on. And we're going to use the ball to clip us back in bounds the same way we took it out of bounds. So we'll see if we can put it in a nice spot and then walk into this corner of the ice. Oh, I don't like that. It's not close enough. See, it's bouncing off the wall. I don't want it to. There we go. That should be good. So now we want to push ourselves in a bit. And we're in bounds. That went a lot faster than I expected, to be honest.
Very nice.
And now we go over here and we activate the Alpine telescope, which is the level that you did not get to see. So we're going to open up the level and enter it as Mustache Girl, and then we're going to immediately leave it. And that'll just change where Hat Kid counts as loading in from, because you'll notice when we come in here, we are not Mustache Girl anymore. We're going to be Hat Kid in Alpine, which is as it should be. And when we leave, we'll get the cutscene again for Mustache Girl, putting her back in bounds where we want her to be. And now we're just going to complete this cutscene normally, and it'll put Hat Kid in a place that gets her back. Yeah, I just, I don't have a wired controller that I'm comfortable with. I have a GameCube controller, but hey, I don't like GameCube controllers. Fight me.
Oh my gosh, blaspheme.
Yeah, I just find the way the triggers work are very uncomfortable, and the dash button in this game are on the trigger, so I don't know why they put it on the trigger. It's a bit awkward, but I definitely need it there.
The triggers are bad.
So it's the one very unlikable thing about the controller. Well, one of the two, I guess the D-pad's terrible too, but
my two big complaints are the Z button and the triggers. The D-pad is not great, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's workable, but it's like really awkward.
It is quite.
But yeah, as you could see, I was at Alpine. Now I'm free to continue. We're back in bounds. Hat Kid ready to go. And are you ready for the extra tall wall because they were unhappy with us?
Yes.
It's a bit larger this time. As you can see, I'm gonna jump at it and then just collide with nothing and fall. So the goal here that I'm going to try to do, I'm going to give you an example away from the wall because it's easy to show off, is that I want to jump against the roof here, or I'll just miss the roof entirely and waste that. I'll climb up the roof a bit when you do that, and then when you free fall, you just fall down flat from where you are instead of back on the roof. So it walks up the roof a bit for extra height and then falls down where I was, which is very helpful because I can wall kick off of that point for even more height, which is going to get me through the gap. If I can do it right. It is very difficult. I've struggled with this one a bunch, so that is the goal of what we're going to do. We'll see how many tries it takes me. And if I am not feeling it, I'll show you the alternate way in. We're at, what, 4 attempts here? We'll call it 20 attempts or so. They're kind of short, maybe 30. If I can't get it, we'll bail and try the other way. There's like a specific spot. You got to jump twice, dive, roll out of the dive, and then hit left hard so that you catch the ceiling. It's a bit tough.
So going to the Alpine area with Mustache Girl was because Hat Kid was stuck in Yakuza, and because of the way that Futon got there as Hat Kid, there was not a legitimate way out of Yakuza Metro as Hat Kid, and so in the Mustache Girl segment, he went into the Alpine area, which loads Hat Kid into the Alpine area in his save file. And so then when he completes the Mustache Girl segment properly and regains control of Hat Kid, he's in Alpine, which allows him to leave properly as opposed to being stuck. Did I get that right?
That is exactly correct. Right beside the Alpine area is a... Ooh, I got it. Jumping over the wall. We're in.
Let's go, Futon.
Beautiful. So the Alpine area that I came out of is basically next to the Yakuza area you would take you out of, but there's a dweller wall and no way to clip out of bounds before it, so you're just trapped in the tube and you can't get out. So that is the need for that. There was some absurd tech that I would love to show you guys, but it's a video, so I don't really I think that's fair. Also, it's not my content, so I don't want to share it without permission. But there's some really absurd tech where you get out of bounds with Mustache Girl in the same way that I did. But instead of bringing that ball that I had taken up, you're ending up actually going out for the other ball that you'd seen me take around Subcon, the little snatcher ball. And the way to do it is the same way. You go underneath and out of bounds, but you land on like this sliver of flooring, and then you have to make a tight jump around a wall, throw the ball mid-air, dive into it, bonking it with your head, and it'll launch it forwards again. Then you have to catch it out of your dive and land on the other side of a large gap with it, which is just the most absurd trick. And it sounds as hard as I made it sound. It is as hard as I made it sound. So it's like, oh my God, I wasn't ready to try that. But fortunately, the community's full of really smart and extremely experienced players. And when I brought that up and was like, man, that's so cool, but oh my God, I can't do that in a run. There's no way in hell. They just looked at it and were like, hey, here's this cooler way we found a day later. And put like a couple hours of effort in and just, yeah, they dominated it. They
awesome.
make this game do whatever they want it to. They're extremely good at what they do. Glitch finders are the best. Big fans of them.
I'm a big fan. Huge fan.
Yeah. Good, because I said big fans plural, so I had to include you by accident at that point. I just accidentally included you, and I was just gonna hope you were gonna roll with it, and it worked out.
I rolled with it. I'm nothing if not someone that rolls with it.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna death warp here. I didn't showcase something I wanted to showcase. We're just gonna get sent back to the start. Actually, if this doesn't send me there, there's a cheat code I'll type in to do it. I'll show you why I'm not skipping this entire level if this sends me back to the start. It did not, so we're gonna type in, I don't know if that's active, restart level. Oh. Alright, we're gonna fly back to the start, since I've gone too far and I have to restart it. Don't mind me. Apparently restart level only works the last checkpoint. I think there's a command that sends you fully back, but last time I tried it, it didn't work, and that might just be because I have a small brain. Not entirely sure. I'm not gonna claim to know exactly what I was doing with it, so I'll just blame myself instead of whatever was happening. Alright, so we're back at the start. In fact, I'm going to use this flight. So this is what I did last time, right? You saw me dive into that lava over there? Well, there's this thing you can see that's kind of in the way. Let's go inspect it. So first of all, there's an invisible barrier here now that doesn't let you go through. And second of all, there's a cheese wheel that says canceled on it, because the devs canceled this cheese. So we're no longer able to skip it. I think that was at the time where they were banning some of the more powerful glitches by patching them out, which is, you know, it's their game. They can do whatever they want. I think the speed community was pretty unhappy with it, but now we have this actual level as playable, which is really cool too, though. So it's a trade-off, you know. You lose some really good speed tech that you wanted to do, but instead you gain this entire section as a playable level, and it doesn't even cost that much more time. So, you know, some pluses and minuses. All right. Let's go back to doing the level, naturally. Just wanted to showcase that because it's a bit funny. I like the cheese wheel there.
It's really good.
So now we have a new issue, especially with Hatless Badgeless, is that you're gonna need a dweller hat. But we don't get hats, so we're gonna have to get real creative. So this section's extremely hookshot locked, as you can see by the massive distance we have to cross. So instead, we're just gonna come down here and use the walls to do the tricks for us. Oh, I got stuck on a ceiling. Have to come down a bit. There we go. And from here, we can just run across this section and get back in over this massive gap from over here. And now you can see in front of me this gigantic wall, and I have no way through it. And also, to make it truly hatless, we're gonna let this thing steal our actual hat that we're not using and be a hatless girl. And now is the hardest trick in the entire game. I have to use a thing called boop, which if I go like this, hat kid boops, cute animation. This is used really commonly throughout all of the speedruns in 2.1 to clip through things. Most popularly, that bag I showed you in Subcon, you can just use Boop to get right out of it and play the game. And you just skip that long animation, which is pretty cool. So I have to jump at the right angle on this, Boop into it, and then lag on the way down. I didn't succeed, unfortunately. So you'll notice that I'm kind of grabbing nothing here. Now, apparently I'm doing pull-ups now. This is what I'm aiming for, but I need to be flat on the ground. That is the goal. So that is what we're trying to get, because that will store a ledge grab. I believe in the one that I just completed, I had already used the ledge grab, which is unfortunate. So I have to get that to happen, and then keep my ledge grab. Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. I just remembered. I foolishly am spamming the lag button instead of holding the lag button. So I need to start changing my strategy there. Nope, fail again. That's fine. I just have to make sure I don't get hit too much by the lava, though, because you only have a limited amount of health, and I need 2 health in the next part right after this to get back in bounds. So I have 4 health at the moment. I can take 3 hits because there's a heart pond, or I guess 2 more hits because there's a heart pond next to me. So let's see if we can get this line up again. Nope. It's very difficult. I am switching between controller and keyboard here just because I'm more comfortable moving around on the keyboard, or on the controller, so I'm putting myself into position with it before I attempt a keyboard trick. I should put a little more focus into where I'm starting my standing point, because I think I like to go with my left foot barely on this diamond that I'm standing on. Come on. Ah. See, if I turn like this, flat to the post, it's a really good sign. Oop. Burning myself is not a good sign. But yeah, if I turn flat to that, that's a good sign. But it's not good if I don't slide all the way to the ground. If I slide all the way to the ground, then we are set to go. So let's give it another shot here. This is, as I mentioned, the hardest trick I've ever had to do in any video game at all. What if I do that from now on? No risk of taking damage. Alright, try again. Oh, that looked right, but it wasn't. Unfortunate. It is a very tough trick, as I had previously mentioned. I do expect this to take a while, so I've put a lot of time into learning this, and it took me about 3 hours to get it about 3 times or so. And then in my practice run, I got it first try. So of course, I'll never get it that quick again. So you're gonna have to suffer through my unfortunate struggles here.
We're all rooting for you. Isn't that right, chat room?
I'm also rooting for me.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Gotta believe in yourself, you know? Oh, we got it. We got it. Okay.
See,
So
all it took was believing.
Ooh, I think I screwed it up. Yeah, I actually exited it the wrong way because I'm on my keyboard still instead of controller. I ruined it. I ruined it. The hard part was done and I broke it. Oh, man. What a goofball.
Death Futon.
Okay, let's do it again. I almost had the roll out there, though. So I have to roll out of it instead of climb up like I naturally did there. And then once I roll out of it, Hatkit is stuck looking forwards, and I've stored a ledge grab, and I'll be able to continue from there. Let's see if I can... Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Okay, we are good. Hatkit is stuck going forwards when we're going different directions. So we're gonna slide... Oh, that can't be good. Why did I turn around? Oh, we're still fine. Alright, so... Now we wanna... What in the world? Take some fire damage here. I might not have hit the cutscene part, so I want to make sure I get that. And then we'll hopefully get put back in bounds, except I keep landing on things, which is very not good for me. Alright, we're gonna die, unfortunately, so I'm gonna turn on the invincibility mode, because I didn't get the damage boost correctly here. I'm supposed to hit this cut or this this load part here, and then I'm supposed to hit 2 damage boosts somewhere over here. They are supposed to load me into the next section of the level, but it's not currently working. I might be missing the load. There we go. So now we're loaded in here. We can grab health and immediately do the next section. I did not type the right command here.
GG.
There we go. Thank you. So I'm just gonna turn off my invincibility mode and then complete the run as you would see me complete it if it was a correct run. It also comes with a nice benefit. Doing it this way, that actually is a save point right on that load bar right here that I hit, which is why I loaded here when I took too much damage. The way I had previously done it on the level beforehand, if I had died to Mustache Girl on my 1 health entry that I had done, I would have been sent back to the very beginning of the entire level. If I die on this one anywhere along the way, I'm going to just set back to that exact point. And even better yet, on the way to Mustache Girl, we're going to get a second checkpoint that's basically right in front of her, which, as you can imagine, is very preferable to do the whole level again. And as I mentioned, you can keep your momentum going through bags, so that part is really cool looking. Just swing by at max speed. So yeah, now you just run through the last stages of the level pretty casually, really. And we're almost there. I'm just gonna land on this hammer, no big deal. And this is the normal approach you take to Mustache Girl. And then the cutscenes are better skipped in 2.1 as well, so I don't have to mash all this text to try to skip it. Just very nice of them.
Very nice.
And there we go, straight into the fight. The exhibition part is over. I'm just gonna kill it again for everybody, just cause, wow, she punched me, I didn't get hurt though. What is that about? Do I have the cheat on still? Oh, yeah, I mistyped it. I've been invincible this whole time without knowing. And she also just fell through the world, so we're gonna have to wait for her to come back. Sometimes this happens. Please come back. Oh, she's attacking me through the floor at the moment. She'll eventually come back with a new ability. Here we go. Dang, she's owning me right now. There we go. Let's do this fight properly now. Now that she is back in bounds. Oh, I might put her back in bounds. Yeah, she's out of bounds again. Oh, we got her back. We're good. Yeah, with the way that torpedo attack works, you can hit her at the very edge next to the wall and she'll start throwing timepieces at you and she can just spawn in the corner of the wall and you're just stuck waiting. And then when she comes down from it, she falls under the world like we had seen earlier. So yeah, now I'm actually hatless. There's no hat on my head, which is awesome. I think it's definitely not required for the run, but it is a cute way to finish off the run by intentionally losing your hat to be properly hatless for the end.
That is cute.
A weird thing about this game though, and you'll see it by when I pause. I'm just gonna pause here to show you. Oh, I can't because I lost my hat. That's a good point. If I beat this file entirely and then reload it, I'm not gonna have no hats. I'm actually gonna have like 3 hats because the game doesn't understand how I could have done this, I guess. And it gives me back all the required hats to have beaten the finale. So I just get 3 free generated hats back into my inventory, which is a bit funny. Not important in any speedrun case because, as I mentioned, you're not allowed to save and quit ever. But it's neat. Alright, final important phase. I'll just let her punch me because it makes her move on from that attack faster. We're just back to the bitrate destroying segment of the game. Hopefully I'll, no, not get better RNG. I was gonna say better RNG, but she immediately put a shield up, so hopefully I don't die either. Oh nice, I got a double hit. And she's doing this attack. Got a lot of hits in a row there. And she hasn't re-shielded again. Oh my god, she's being very generous all of a sudden. Wow, I'm just gonna, yeah, I just beat her straight into the next phase. She never put her shield back. That was very kind.
Very nice.
And now we're at the free segment where we can't die again. Yeah, as someone mentioned in chat, this fight actually is soft lockable somewhat frequently. If you saw her just do the beam circle around to blast all these people to give them the idea to die and throw hearts at me, sometimes she spawns under the ground for that attack, and then just that's it. You can't win anymore. It's not the best. Fortunately, I've actually never had to happen in a run, even though it's like apparently somewhat, it's rare, but it's like, it's a thing that most speedrunners apparently have experienced through this speedrun. Somehow I've managed to avoid that entirely. Yeah, I got hit. Alright. Oh, wow. I keep forgetting how fast she is in this phase, so her teleport attack just slaps me. What? She's attacking the wall. She's not attacking me anymore. I don't know what happened to her. She's stuck facing one direction. As I'm showing here, it is so hard to catch up to her if you don't have any hats during this phase, so when she's jumping around like that, it's hard to get anything done. Oh, she bounced off my head. Okay, it's fine though. And there we go. So if you imagine what I had done in my 1.0 run, but you combo in the cool stuff that I've just showcased here, you are capable of putting together 2.1 Hatless Badgeless without co-op either. All the 2.1 runs you'll see on the leaderboard are co-op based because it's a lot faster. You just clip through the dweller wall I had to show you to get through. You clip through a lot of walls really, because you spawn your partner and the partner can appear near you, which sometimes means on the other side of the wall. So it's a huge time save.
Hey, Futon.
But that is it.
GG.
Thanks, man.
So yeah, that is gonna do it for Challenger approaching this evening, I believe. I'd like to thank Futon for joining us. Please, if you have not already, follow twitch.tv/deathfuton on Twitch. Futon plays Hat Time, Link to the Past, tons of fun stuff. Really recommend. I'll be posting his link in the chat. You should see it appearing somewhere around when I'm saying these things. But yes, thank you everybody for watching Challenger approaching. As always, Futon, any things you'd like to say before I give the final announcements of the evening?
No, thanks for having me on this. This was a great time, and I'm glad I was able to do exactly what I wanted without too much hiccups at all.
Amazing.
I'm proud of myself.
The run was wonderful. You should be proud. The run was wonderful. You did all the things you wanted to do. It's very exciting. So, gamers, do be sure to stick around. We'll take a quick break in a moment here, and then we will be raiding someone, so be sure to stick around to support other speedrun content. But just a few quick announcements. First of all, I don't know if you caught this at the beginning of the show, but if you've missed the news, Summer Games Done Quick 2021 Online is officially July 4th to the 11th, and game submissions are open right now until April 11th, so be sure to prep your submissions if you'd like to be a potential part of SGDQ 2021 from the comfort of your own home. If you're interested in volunteering for SGDQ 2021 Online, which is lovely, volunteer submissions are open right now, so check gamesdonequick.com for more info on the dates about submitting to be a volunteer. We would love to have you as a volunteer for the event. We need all hands on deck. It's a community effort. Information on all of our hotfix shows, including this one, are available at gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. From there, you can find out more information about submitting your runs to any of our weekly shows. The common thread through all those announcements is that the place to be to get info is gamesdonequick.com. So, as always, gamers, thank you for tuning in to Challenger Approaching. We'll be back 2 Fridays from now with more Challenger content. I believe we'll be having some Zelda stuff on, so get excited for that. But with that, I have been Adef. This has been Death Futon. Futon, happy to have you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, gamers, stick around. Quick break, and then a raid. Cheers, and have a nice night.